So as you guys remember, back in 2014, Hideo Kojima released a game called PT under cover of darkness. He published it under a secretive studio name that nobody had ever heard of, and so when this game dropped, labeled PT, nobody knew what to make of it. It just came out of nowhere. Nobody knew who made it. Nobody knew that it was coming, but they did know that it looked spoopy. And so they downloaded it, started playing it, and realized this thing was actually pretty damn good. Soon after its release, people realized that it had come from Hideo Kojima, and people were able to solve it relatively quickly, which was very surprising because the game gives you absolutely no guidance on what you're supposed to do whatsoever. Something that some people love and other people absolutely hate. But quickly, the playable teaser, which is what PT stands for, garnered a sort of cultish following. People look at it as an absolutely breathtaking game, something that was way ahead of its time, something that is one of the best horror games of all time. And I've previously said things like that based off of nostalgia, but today I wanted to go back through, play it, and see if it actually is as good as everybody remembers, or if we perhaps were exaggerating a little bit because we got caught up in the fervor and excitement of a new Kojima release. Now, there are some limitations with this experiment that we're going to be doing that I need to outline here. So let's go back to the desk and tackle it. Okay, so the first thing you need to understand is that PT is no longer available anywhere. Like, you can't download it onto the PlayStation 4 or the PlayStation 5. It's just gone. So there are, to this day, people that have the playable teaser still installed on their base PS4s from 2014, and they actively sell them for pretty steep prices. I found this one that's out of course, the UK, which is why it's being sold in pounds sterling, but it's selling for the equivalent of $883 US. Not because it's signed by some celebrity, not because it's filled with gold, just because it's locked at firmware 4.07 and includes an original copy of PT. That's the nostalgia level we're talking about. There are 11 people watching this item right now. That's how hyped up people are on PT. It's insane. Now, for obvious reasons, I don't want to pay $880 to get a PlayStation 4 that might be a scam just to get a copy of a playable demo that may or may not actually be on the device. So instead, I'm using something called Unreal PT. And this is actually one of the coolest things that's come out of the modding community in recent years, at least in my opinion. Basically, 3-ish years ago, a guy decided to remake the entirety of PT step by step, object by object in Unreal Engine. And he did a phenomenal job with it. It's literally indistinguishable from the original game, includes all of the same gameplay systems and mechanics that are perfectly timed out to be a one-to-one recreation of the game. So it is about as close as you could possibly get to playing the original without having to spend $1,000 to buy a PS4 that happens to still have the software on it. Now, one of the things that you have to understand is that this copy of Unreal PT, because it is a one-to-one recreation, it was struck and the developer was sent cease and desist orders basically for copyright infringement because he did one-to-one recreate a game that didn't belong to him legally. So it was struck, he was forced to take it down and no longer distribute it. I'm not going to tell you how you can get it if you can get it, but I'm sure those of you who are very resourceful and have access to Google could find a way to play it. I'll leave it there. And also thank you to everybody who is here in the Twitch live chat hanging out with me while we film this. They're putting up with a lot of really cringy pauses and re-deliveries of lines that I'm doing. Like, I know for you guys, it's a very fluid experience. You just watch this video play out smoothly. These poor suckers are like sitting in chat watching me do and the reason I said, I messed it up. And the reason I say that is because, so these guys are real champs. They're wonderful. If you ever want to hang out with us while we're filming videos like this, head over to the Twitch stream at Luke Stevens TV and hang out. We stream a lot and I would love to have you over here. It's a good time. So pop on over. So when you boot up Unreal PT, this is what we are looking at. We have a basic brightness scale, which you would expect, horizontal and vertical camera inversion if you want to do that for some reason. And then you can turn on resolution scale and high quality screen space reflections. This is, of course, not something that was present in the original demo, but it is nice if you want to crank fidelity, which is cool. Radius Cordello, that's the individual who created this recreation, I suppose. Watch out, the gap in the door. It's a separate reality. The only me is me. Are you sure the only you is you? And I know what you're thinking. What does that mean? I have no idea. This is a Kojima game, so who has any idea? We go through the door, and voila. We are in PT. Rockin' and rollin'. I'm actually going to play this with a controller because the recreation has mouse acceleration built in. It drives me absolutely insane, so I'm going to play it with a controller, which I think works a lot more naturally, and it's how the game was intended to be played anyways, so why not? I know we already got one. Can we get another chair spin? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You're welcome. That one's free. That one's free. I'll have to charge you for the next one. Okay, let's rock and roll. Things are gonna get spoopy. Here we go. Here we go. So if you've never played PT before, the basic premise is that we are in this hallway. Things are scary and spoopy. It's marked at 11:59. A radio's playing, and we will continually work through this loop time and time again, going through the same hallway. And this is the entire game. So I guess you could call it a time loop game, but it's also like a lot more simple than that. It's very simple. And I think it's interesting because it does go to show you can make a compelling game without an over-reliance on huge levels or crazy set pieces. You can make a compelling horror experience without all of that, just relying on psychological twists and turns. But don't expect anything more than this, because this is pretty much it. Okay, some chocolat, cookies, a banana, some cigarettes, keys. I don't like whenever your chandelier, is that a lantern maybe, is rocking like that, you need to stop. Okay, down the stairs, and we go through the door, and we're back. Now, I need you to put yourself in the mindset of somebody playing this back in 2014. You have no idea who made this. You don't know what it's about. You don't know how big it is. You don't know anything. Like, you are going into this completely blind. And especially for 2014, these graphics were basically photorealistic. And even now, the game looks tremendous. I mean, look at this. This is a recreation. The original game looked pretty much identical to this as well. So it was very, very sort of unnerving, because you just, like, this was not something that you would normally get for free out of nowhere from a random developer. This was something with a lot of effort and dev time put into it. And it just didn't make sense why it was here, you know? This time we round the corner, though, and the door's closed. Weird. Odd. The door doesn't want to open. Walk back. That's spoopy. That's spoopy. I don't know what to tell you, man. That's spoopy. And in case you are frustrated by my use of the term spoopy, I'm going to keep saying it because it's the only way I can sort of self-soothe and comfort myself. So I'm going to keep doing it. But this is where we'll start to pick up on one of the staples of PT, which is that there is no guidance. They don't tell you what to do or where to go. You just kind of wander around until something happens. And that's the game. Now, some people have wondered, is the lack of guidance a feature in and of itself? In other words, like, is the fact that you have to just wander around and maybe Google what you should do next, is that part of the experience? That sort of community assistance, is that actually a feature? And I don't really know what to make of it. I think to a certain extent, Kojima did expect and anticipate people to help each other work through the game. But when he put this out, there weren't guides online. There wasn't an infrastructure in place. There was just no guidance whatsoever. So most players, I remember sitting down at a friend's house and we were going through this on her base PS4. We had no idea what we were doing or where to go next. We were just wandering around, and it took us like 3 or 4 hours to get through the entire game because there were no guides out, and it was just random experimentation. And even then, we didn't really know what we did that made us progress. So as for whether or not it's an actual feature or just sort of a bizarre game design choice, I'm not entirely sure. Oh, right there. Oh, okay. So right here, there's a picture frame on the floor. R3 to zoom in. My voice, can you hear it? This sign, can you read it? I'll wait forever if you just come to me. Okay, now I think I can go through. Yeah, okay, now the door's open. So this is just, it's one thing. I can appreciate back in 2014, this being a total question mark in people's minds, meandering through this and figuring out little things here and there and discovering new items and things. I get that. Now, it just comes off as extremely tedious and kind of annoying. Okay. I gotta be honest, you're kind of bringing the energy down. Kind of being a bummer. You're sobbing in a bathroom. What is this, high school? Okay, we go back through. Voila. Voila. And this is, I mean, pretty much the game. You're just gonna wander through the same area time and time again. Trying to discover new things, stumble onto ways to bypass the loop that you're stuck in. It doesn't really have any rhyme or reason to it. It's just kind of, you're doing stuff for the sake of doing stuff. And personally, I prefer games that give a little more structure or have a little more justification to the activities they're tasking you with. I love a mystery as much as the next person, but I don't find like mindless, like, I don't even know what to call it. It's not even a task. It's not even a quest because it's just doing random things to progress. In this case, like, we found that picture frame that has a bunch of the picture torn out from it. So to progress, what we actually have to do is go and find pieces of the picture that have been torn up and scattered around the level. You're not told any of that, and there's no real reason that finding those pieces would make you progress in a magical time loop sort of thing. It's just that that's what Kojima wanted you to do. You know? That's it. Get the okay. Okay, I see what we're doing. Happy couple. Very happy couple. Love it. The one thing you gotta say is that they really nailed the ambiance, because I've done this before. I know what to expect. there's nothing like particularly scary about this to me. It's just a hallway. Somebody's crying in the bathroom. What's new? It's just like every college dorm ever. But even so, it's just unnerving and unsettling. And it makes you just want to not play it anymore. So here's the picture. You see it's coming back together. We found a couple pieces. We need a good number more. I might need to go through the door again. Okay. Okay. It's a horror game. They open the door. I go to the door. Watch this. You guys ready? I remember this. You ready for this? Take a peeky peek. Scary. I think the way you got to play these games is to just like run through like a child skipping through the woods. Is that? Oh, that was a picture. Okay. It was a piece of it. You know, games are a lot less scary when you're prancing. That's all I'm going to say. Murderers are a lot less scary when you prance. You got to go through, like, just because there's death doesn't mean we can't have a good time, you know? I take back what I said. I'm sorry. Don't prance. I didn't mean what I said. Lisa, please don't hurt me. Okay. We're gonna prance. Prance, prance, prance. I'm having such a good time. I'm not scared at all. Even though I've done this many times before, I don't know why I'm scared. Get out. Get out of here. It's okay. Prance, prance, prance. Prance, prance, prance. Having a good time. Not scared at all. Having a good time. Having a good time. Shooting sky, flying across the sun like a sky. Sentence in the flats and a suicide. Benison and the sentence. Like, get Lady Godiva. I don't remember the words.
The mother, who was shot in the stomach, 204-863. Seen after neighbors called 911.
204-863.
Listening to the radio. Several days before the murder, look behind you. I said, look behind you.
Don't look behind you. 204-863. 204-863.
You can't trust the tap water. The old son came to investigate the commotion.
Oh.
The father shot him too. His 6-year-old daughter had the good sense to hide in the bathroom, but reports suggest he lured her out by telling her it was just a game. The girl was found shot once in the chest from point-blank range. The mother...
Okay, just so everybody knows and is on the same page. So with that, I come and I check the picture. The only thing you'll see is gouge it out with an X. So you're supposed to zoom in and then smack buttons, including A or X on the original PlayStation controller, and it'll gouge out her eye, which triggers the door to open. I would love, forgive me, Lisa, there's a monster inside me. Charming. I would love to have been in the room when Kojima was like telling the team what they were going to do. Like, just imagine it. Like, okay, guys, the next thing we're going to have is a picture, and the picture will have been there the whole time, but we're going to put an X on it. Okay. What else do we do, Mr. Hideo? What are we going to do? Well, we have to make it so players have to zoom in on it. Okay. To look closer. Okay. And then they've got to randomly know to press A, even though they haven't had to press that button the whole game. Okay. Why? Art. That's why. Brave, stunning, beautiful. You know, like, it just, I get it. It's obscure. It's weird. But I gotta think there are better ways to design a game. You know, if a game demands interaction and the interaction is nothing short of button spamming on the controller until something happens, that just can't be of like, that can't be the best way to do it. You know, I don't, maybe I'm not smoking enough of what he's smoking. Maybe I'm missing out. Because whatever he's on that makes him think of this stuff, it's got to be pretty powerful. Door's still locked. I got to be honest. I just got goosebumps all down my arm. I knew that was coming and it still happened. Son of a mother bitches. Son of a mother bitches. What the hell are you doing? You breaking windows? Mad woman? Red light. Okay. Roxanne. Okay, how did you even get it up there? I'm gonna say it. It's not that easy to lift a fridge up. It's just not. I don't care how spooky, monstrous you are. That's just unrealistic. That's just unrealistic. I keep checking the ceiling because I know at some point something's gonna pop up there. I'll come back to help you. I swear I'll be right back. Give me a second. Just get me out of here. I can hear them calling from L. Luke? I hear them calling from Luke? From Love Island? From Lilypad Lilyhammer? Now the L is gone. Why is the L gone? Luke's really showing off his parenting skills by ignoring the crying. You'll learn to tune it out. I can't control my face right now. I know it looks like I'm sucking on a lemon, but that's how I feel. Uh-oh. Never-ending hallway. I don't actually know what we're supposed to do here. I think it's like you go forward 5 and then backwards 5 or something weird like that. This is one of those things, like, I get it. It's a time loop. Ooh, spooky. And so maybe we are supposed to feel just as hopelessly trapped in the time loop as the character. And that's why it's actually not just repetitive bloat, but it's actually artistic. You know, maybe that's what it is. But I gotta be honest, all it makes me think is I hate this. You know? And horror games are weird because you can get away with a lot in video games because if it makes people like miserable and if they don't like something, you can just say that's part of it. That's part of the gameplay design. We meant for that to happen. And in this case, I think this is really dumb. No guidance whatsoever. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know. Okay, well, let's think. What was the number that they said? It was like 24068. So what if we go forward to... We've probably been forward to a couple times. Then what? Backwards 6 times? I'm supposed to look in a peephole. Jump scare? Okay. That's the puzzle. Is to look through a peephole. You're supposed to look at the hole and then zoom in. That's the puzzle.
You got fired, so you drowned your sorrows in booze. She had to get a part-time job working a grocery store cash register. Only reason she could earn a wage at all is the manager liked how she looked in a skirt. You remember, right? Exactly 10 months back.
I'm vibing.
I don't even know. Okay, Kojima. Okay, we're back to normal. Dear God, that one is probably the worst because you are running through this time loop. So you think like, okay, they just listed off a bunch of numbers. So maybe I have to go through and like a specific number. I've got to pass this one door 2 times and then that thing 4 times. But no, you are supposed to notice a little dot on the wall and then look into it like a peephole. I don't know why I did it. I guess it was memory, but somebody type that in chat. 204863. 204863. Knowing you, I was sure you'd notice this game and play it. I will can never forget that day 20 years ago. Oh, I didn't get to read the rest of it. And it resits. And it's signed J. Watch out the capital. Yeah, so the same text reads before. So a lot of people thought, oh, the game just glitched. And I reset. It restarted me. Damn it.
I walked. I could do nothing but walk. And then I saw me walking in front of myself. But it wasn't really me. Watch out. The gap in the door. It's a separate reality. The only me is me. Are you sure the only you is you?
Then you realize that you didn't actually glitch out and it was intentional. Wow. It's almost like Kojima goes out of his way to make the most unfun games possible. I mean, I kind of get what you mean though. Like, I'm conflicted about it because let's be real. Let's take a breather. Okay, let's take a breather while we're here. I can appreciate artistic choices in games. I can appreciate trying to cross the artistic and the narrative side of the game's design with the gameplay and trying to tie them together. So like the dread of like the real scary thing. I think I heard this in a Kojima interview where he said the thing that scares players the most is actually not knowing what they're supposed to do. And that uncertainty can be used to your advantage. So if you want a really scary game, just remove that element. Remove the comfort of knowing what you're supposed to do. And I get that idea. But you're a game designer. And at like some point, as an art piece, I think PT is probably pretty compelling. As a game, I don't know how you can reasonably say that it is anything other than a self-indulgent acid trip that was on PlayStation. Like, there's no other way that I can look at the game other than that it's just sort of a bizarre acid trip that we get to share with Kojima. Oh. Nothing in the sink, nothing in the toilet. A turlet, nothing in the turlet. Not even a turlet 20. If you guys know that reference, let me know in the chat or in the comments, and we can be best friends. Oh, turlet 20. If you know that reference, I'll be very pleased. Think like a crazy person. Where would I hide a piece of a picture? Right by the start? No, that would make too much sense. Think like a crazy Kojima. Oh, is that one? Hey! Yeah, I don't remember that one. Okay, now we casually run through the door. Green! For cash money. That means if you beat the game on this loop, you get $500,000 cash. I don't know. I mean, again, just imagine sitting in the design meeting and everyone's like, so what's the next thing going to be? Well, we're going to make a playable teaser for our next game, Silent Hills. Okay, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. What are we going to do for the teaser? Give them like a level or two to explore? No. No. We're not doing that. No. Okay, well then what are we going to do? We're going to give them a hallway. And then we're going to have them walk in it over and over again. I remember this. I'm not going to move. I remember this happening. I don't know what I'm supposed to do though. Like, am I supposed to not move? Or is that the opposite of what I'm supposed to do? Lisa, honey. You doing okay, honey? Do you need dessert? You're not you and you're hungry. I think that was progress. One of the theories in the original PT was that you needed to call to Lisa in the PlayStation microphone, and doing so would summon her and trigger this, which is cool. Like if you say, "Come here, Lisa," Lisa, come here, things like that. then the PlayStation mic would pick that up, read the voice, and then she would trigger. Other people found that it showed up randomly between like 30 seconds and 90 seconds. So it probably wasn't triggered by the voice. It was just random, and people were talking into their mics and convinced themselves that it was triggered by that. Or it's a combination of the two. Who knows? But it just, like, when players can't tell if something is random or if something is designed, I don't actually know if that's a good thing or not. Like, props that it's not like so lame that nobody cares, but still, like, it doesn't seem very compelling. Miss Nikki's calling. She has called twice, so I think it's an emergency. So I'll take this real quick. We'll be right back, and then we'll finish out, okay? I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back. Promise. Okay, this last little bit's going to be interesting. Sorry. Because I have a baby now. Hey, Lachlan. Oh, hello, everybody. Hello, fans. Oh, careful. Hello, everybody. Hello, all my adoring fans. Good to see you. Here, do you want to play with your controller? I have an old PS4 controller I let him play with.
You've been chosen.
Did you just fart? Right as we finish.
Dad was such a drag. Every day he'd eat the same kind of food, dress the same, sit in front of the same kind of games. Yeah, he was just that kind of guy. But then one day he goes and kills us all. He couldn't even be original about the way he did it. I'm not complaining. I was dying of boredom anyway. But guess what? I will be coming back, and I'm bringing my new toys with me.
Boom. And then in the original, the little trailer thing would play, and it was like, ooh, it's PT. Oh, it was for Silent Hills. I get it now. But that's it. Okay, let's debrief. Let's spin around. Okay, closing thoughts on all of that. So while I can understand and appreciate many of the things that made PT unique, such as the fact that it came out of absolutely nowhere. Nobody had any idea that this thing was going to come out when it did, or run like it did, or look like it did. Like, so much of it was just unexpected and exciting. Oh, yeah. I know you want to talk to everybody. It's okay. I can appreciate all of that, but it doesn't change the fact that so much of it is just kind of nonsense. I don't find the puzzles to be real puzzles because nobody even knows what they're supposed to do. Like, you know, you're supposed to progress and get through it further, but there's no way to do it reasonably without just mindlessly exploring or Googling how to get through it. Like, I can only imagine how tough it must have been for those first players to get through this with no guidance, no idea of what they should do at all. I mean, at least I kind of had like memories of the solutions, so it was easier for me to do it than those initial players. But still, there's so much here that I just don't think has aged particularly well. And perhaps it's a mixture of, like, I've played it before, so it's not as magical as it once was. Maybe that's it. Or maybe it's something else altogether. But what I do know is that PT, whether it's a good game or not, has certainly stuck with the public consciousness. And to a certain extent, perception's more important than reality. And if people's perception is that PT is one of the greatest horror games of all time, that kind of makes it true. So either way, the game is a phenomenal success despite being nothing more than a teaser for a game that never ended up being made, which is sad, but I think it's also probably good because I think PT in many ways is better than whatever they could have delivered in Silent Hill. Because the mystery and the obscurity actually helped it a lot. Whereas, you know, knowing that there's a Kojima horror game coming in the future, that sets expectations at a certain level, and I think it just would be a different experience altogether. But going into this game completely blind allowed players to have an experience that's really unique and special, and that you just don't see nowadays, because who else, like what other big name developer would put something out without their name on it, without any marketing or anything? I know, there's no one else would do it. Do you see the light, the big light? Yeah, wow. But that's gonna do it for us. Thank you for hanging out. I'm gonna go play with the little Mr. Man. He wants to play some games of his own. Yeah, exactly. He's like, enough filming, Dad, it's time to play. We're gonna go hang out. Thanks for watching. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out. See you then. You did so good. You did so good. Say bye, everybody. Bye. Bye. Yeah.